Chronicles.
Hi everyone, I'd like to introduce y'all to Brown Boy Chronicles, a podcast by four Indian friends sharing their life experiences and views on the world, talking about their struggles, their come-ups, and just coming together and cracking some jokes. We hope y'all enjoy.
Hi, welcome to Brown Boy Chronicles. This is season 3, episode 6. This is Harvey.
This is KB.
This is Lucky.
This is Deech. Do you guys have any big spending items that you got coming up this year you're worried about?
Alcohol.
Not the wedding?
Yeah. Wedding, possibly getting a house.
Man forgot about his own wedding and went straight to alcohol.
Were you thinking about in a house?
Like where I get residency.
Damn. Yeah, that's a big move, man.
Yeah. Big facts. But more of an investment, I look at it, than anything else, honestly.
Get a quadplex, or duplex.
Yeah. That's the goal. Just live free, build my equity, and then see what I want to do with it afterwards. I'll probably keep it though. I'm trying to be a real estate mogul.
What? Mogul? What? What was the word last episode he said that everyone cracked up at?
I forget, He says some head ass shit every fucking episode.
So do you have all the money saved up for your down payment and all that, initial investment for this year?
For the most part, but the thing is, once you become a doctor, you can get a doctor's loan, and that's 0% down. So I might utilize that. I may not. I don't know. Yeah, I still have to think about it and weigh out the pros and cons.
Okay, you got anything you wouldn't buy this year?
No, not really. Honestly, last year, for me, the only expenses are traveling. I think Japan's one of our big expenses this year. We're going to Tokyo, just traveling, probably your bachelor party. That's not even that big of an expense, but Tokyo is definitely going to be a big expense. It's like a 10-day trip.
That's a question I have is do I take that into consideration, expense to other people in terms of bachelor party?
I mean, it depends on the people that I think you have to that's why it's hard to coordinate with a big group, because then some people feel obligated that everyone else is spending, I got to spend it. And versus if you have a small group, then you kind of know where everyone's financial mind state is. At least that's how I think about it. I don't know how you're going to coordinate 25 people, bro. That's
big facts. This is a whole mission right now.
I think that you should just expect that some people can spend it and then some can't. So,
yeah.
But don't cut corners, because this is a one-time.
Of course. Yeah. Most of my homies and stuff have a pretty I feel financially stable and pretty set up. So I don't see it being too big of an issue, honestly.
Why didn't someone else plan the bachelor party for you? Why are you planning it?
Because bro, I'm a control freak. I hate to say it, but I need things done my way, because I don't think anybody does it the way that I do it or set shit up the way that I set shit up. Yeah, I could potentially look into somebody planning it.
Dude, you should have at least set the destination and then make stratify it into a couple groups and ask them, plan something each day for me. So it's an experience for you, but at the same time, everyone gets kind of involved.
Have the guests plan shit for me? Yeah,
so we have 25 bodies going with us, right?
Yeah, potentially I see maybe I'd say at least 15 to 20 showing up.
All right, let's just say the lowest number of 15. So let's just break it into 3 groups. I don't know how long we're going to be staying there, but I'm assuming Thursday to Sunday type shit, or I don't know how long bachelor parties last.
It's June 2nd to 8th. So 6 days. Yeah, 5 days.
Yeah. So 2 days you plan, you do whatever you want to do, but then the other 3 days, if it's 15 people, each group comes up with an idea for you. So it's an experience for you, because other people are getting involved, and it's a mix of both. You get to control 2 days, and your boys control the other 3 days. It's gonna be fun shit, and we'll probably coordinate internally too. But it'll be a surprise to you, and then you get a best of both worlds.
True. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Food for thought.
Yeah, but for me, I think besides Tokyo, this year I'm just saving up. I think last year I spent money on clothes, but not even that much. I spent money on traveling. I don't really have any desire to get expensive stuff, and usually all my expensive stuff, designer shit, is gifted to me. All my wallet, my belt and stuff, gifted. I don't have any desire to. It's true. Like I don't go out in my way to fucking buy a $500 belt or like a fucking $2,000.
Dude, I remember
jacket.
Kivi's LV belt. He was trying to make it the hardest to make sure that shit was popping. Like he was tucking shirts that didn't need to be tucked in so that LV would pop out, bro.
I will definitely, trust me. If it's gifted, I will flex it. But I'm not gonna. I don't give a fuck. If I have designer, I will flex it. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy a fucking $2,000.
And I feel weird wearing designer. I don't know why. I feel like you become a target if you wear a designer, and I'm trying to blend in. I'm not trying to be a target.
The one thing I do like is designer accessories. I don't fuck with like clothing and shit. I think half that shit looks stupid.
I don't know. Some like Gucci shit, like there's like a Dior jacket that shit's just like fucking fire. Like some of their like clothes, I think is like very like, like very select few, but more often than not, I just don't want to be wearing wealth on me because I'm like unless you're like around and you're my bodyguard, I don't want to be a target, bro. Fuck that shit. I'm not trying to fight for like fucking $500 Gucci shades or some shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I think all that shit is like, I don't know, corny. As long as you like look good, that's all that matters. You can look good wearing like $20 outfit. Like it's like how you hold yourself.
Facts.
Like at the end of the day, like people like obviously, I feel like people that are buying designer and shit low key insecure, and they just like trying to like cover up their own like issues and shit. Like they're just not confident with it, so they need like all these like external things to like fucking like gas themselves up. But like if you got it, you got it. Like
last year I bought like so much wholesale shit, like 12 t-shirts for like $30, 12 shorts for like $30. The shorts that I had no pockets in, they were like, I bought 12 of those for $30, but they're fire, low key.
Do you just hit up like Marshalls and shit?
No, I just literally Google wholesale. I just buy stuff from that.
Was that Kirkland shit or was it from somewhere else? Because I remember there was like we hit a loop or something where like there was like a save like 80% off and we bought like a shit ton of shorts or some shit.
It was Kohl's. We had the free Kohl's cash.
Oh yeah.
I got my Nike hoodie, $60 Nike hoodie for free.
Dude, I'm trying to think of what I'm going to try to buy. I feel like I have everything I need. The only thing I now need to do is just like set it up where my money makes money for me. And that's just it's like a slow process. I have to just do it, but it's just like, I got to learn and like tackle it, like tactically.
Yeah, for me, clothing doesn't really do it. It's more so like technology. Like right now, I have my PC, I have my 2 monitors. I just got my second monitor. But it's not like I get a new iPhone every year. It's not like that. But I just like having stuff, right? That's technology. I think that gives me more happiness than clothing, personally.
Would you guys consider yourself materialistic?
To a degree.
Yeah, to a degree.
I mean, I don't need a lot. Like, I feel like all my life, like literally I could sum up from 10 to 20 years old. It was just a computer. All I need is a computer to make me happy. So if I have that, I'm pretty much entertained, like fulfilled. I do all my work there. So my like for quality of life, all I need is just like a fast fucking computer. And then everything else is just like, like basic shit, like couch, dining table. Like, I don't know.
Wait, so
yeah.
Do you think that materialism like only like amounts to like objects, like clothing, tech, all this shit, or can it also be like where you live, like choosing to live in Philly, me choosing to live in New York? Is that like slightly materialistic? Like, putting yourself in like an area that's like fun?
Damn, that's a dope question, actually.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
I never thought about, yeah. I feel like,
because my brother said that to me over winter break. He was like, oh dude, he was roasting the fuck out of me. He was like, you moved to New York City, worked there for a few years, and then like you could have moved home now, lived at home, saved a ton of money, but you wanted to stay in New York City so you could put on your bio, New York City based designer. And I'm like, oh shit. I mean, kind of true. Like that I was like reevaluating all. I was like, I mean, I wanted to be there because it's fun, but it is also true. Like I don't need to be there technically.
Yeah, you don't need to, but like it's like a personal like thing. It's like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, my bio is nomad.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it's like
he just travels. He just travels. That's what nomad means.
Oh, okay.
I forget what it stands for though.
What I would say to that, Deej, now that I was thinking about it, I feel like certain cities give you a precursor to materialism. Like it's not like I go to Philly or New York because like I yearn for materialism, but they kind of being in those areas, it kind of gives you the precursor to that kind of lifestyle. So like in a way, I guess you are subconsciously putting yourself in there, but it's like what you make of it at the end of the day.
I don't think it's Philly so much. I think it's a big cities like New York and LA.
Philly's a big city, dog.
Philly's a big city, but I'm saying like New York and LA, where there's like actors, models, there's like more not reality. What is it, like fake shit going on, right? Like LA has like actors, models and stuff. New York's like designers. People are showing off fucking like all their clothes all the time in fucking New York. They're just walking down the street and stuff. I feel like where you're getting judged more is those specific cities. Philly, no one gives a fuck what you're wearing in Philly, or no one like gives a fuck where you live in Philly. New York, yeah, it's gonna matter. Do you live in a fucking single bedroom apartment, or do you live in this dope ass penthouse? You know, I feel like those cities matter more.
But you'd be surprised though, New York though. I mean, some people who dress like the most casual are like the most loaded people.
Yeah, people love putting on facades.
I mean, the people that are rich usually show off, and the really, really rich don't show off.
Yeah. Well, I think the difference between New York and LA is like, you definitely have to put on more of a front since it's film, Hollywood, music,
mansions.
And those are much harder to.
House in the hills.
Mansions are everywhere though. Like all that shit is everywhere. Like I agree, yo. Like in LA, like whatever your like appearance and stuff and shit definitely matters. But like in a way, that shit is kind of fucking annoying. Like yo, so I was like thinking about this yesterday, right? So like we went to this place called the Bungalow in Santa Monica. I think KV and stuff's been there, right? Like I've never waited in that line before. Before I've been there like 5-6 times. It's never in line. Like we literally waited like an hour in line, right? But like it's like, would you rather live in a city where like you're constantly chasing like respect, you're constantly chasing like being known or like getting into a place, or would you rather live in like a low key spot like Philly where it's easy to like create relationships, easy to like create connections that you could like essentially be moving like a god, like a king, right? Like you can like walk into a place, yo, like what's good? You just walk through the door, right? And there's not that many people that can up to you. Would you rather have that, or would you have the like life and thrill of like LA and just trying to like always one up other people?
I mean, for me, I think it depends. Like if I had the choice, maybe like a couple years here and there in New York and LA and stuff like that. But then you got to think about like all the expenses and stuff. Like you have to, you can't stay. It's not feasible to stay in. I mean, it is feasible.
It is if you're financially stable.
Yeah, it is, but it's not like financially better for you to stay in those cities over time. Like you want to end up moving. Like I feel like all of us want to end up moving to the suburbs eventually, right? Like staying in the cities. Wait, Deech is smiling.
I don't want to move to the suburbs. I mean, I'm personally like, I do like the thrill. I see that there's opportunity to spend a ton of money and shit like that. Like, but like I can stay occupied in New York, but like, I'm here because I see an opportunity, and then I see that leading to the next opportunity. And I feel like that's never going to run out here personally.
I think it changes when you have a family though.
Yeah. I don't know. Personally, like I don't have too many like family goals or anything. Like I'm kind of chasing the career first. No matter how long it takes, I'm going after it. And
I'm not trying to go in the suburbs either. I'm trying to be like 15 minutes next to a major city. I cannot be like in the suburbs.
Yeah, but places like fucking like LA and New York, you got to spend so much money. One, to just even get connections. So you like pretend you go to a club or whatever, you get like bottle service. You have to get bottle service every time you go to a club to even be in an area where you have connections and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't need to go to bottles, dude. First of all, that's wrong.
It's not even about bottle service. It's like just being like friends with like bouncers, becoming like a local, right? Like yo, like just having that like, yo, what's good? Skip the line, like yo, like you're just like respected. You just like they know who you are, right? I would rather prefer that. I like places where people know me for sure, like and like walking and stuff, and you just like that's how I felt like in Pittsburgh, right? You could like go almost anywhere, like walk in like 8 hours, and you just like flip the room over and do what you want.
Just dap up Dom and Peters, and you're in.
I don't know.
Like you have like options, like in LA and stuff. It's like you're just like chasing like fucking the next thrill. You don't know if it's gonna live up to the hype or not.
I mean, it's just your personality. I think at the end of the day, like to me, I don't ever think of that kind of stuff anymore. I don't even think of going to clubs, getting bottle service to make connections. That just seems like old school mindset. Like that's just how you get to know people. I mean, it makes it easier, like alcohol and stuff, but I think you can definitely make connections outside of bottle service. And like, but not to digress, I think I prefer to be in those cities because I like feeling hungry because it gives me like a killer mindset, and I need to see the hustle and bustle around me to like keep it going. Like so at the end of the day, it's just like what works for you, and that it's going to differ for everyone. To me, like I need to be in the mix for me, like what I enjoy the most. I can't even think of suburbia right now. I'll like spit on the thought of like thinking suburbia. That shit is never happening, at least in the next 10 years or so.
Yeah.
What happened at your last birthday, Lucky?
What did I do last birthday? I don't even know.
The bottle service.
Oh shit!
You were like, I don't even.
Yo,
you literally were like, I don't even like fucking.
Bro, that's just such a waste of money. I've spent money on wasteful things before, but that after like I saw it like charge on my credit card. I'm like, bro, why? Like, this is just like, I know it's for 4 hours, but I don't know. I was thinking it would be something more than what it actually was. I was just like underwhelmed by it, and not because of like the type of bottles or anything or the atmosphere, because the club was fire, but it was just like,
the club was not that great.
I don't know. I like the lights. I like the
club
music.
was like, yeah, but bro, like that vibe there was not there, bro. Like,
okay, maybe, I don't know. I just did not enjoy like the whole process of bottle service. And even like when I saw Gurpreet do it, I was like, like, do I really want to do this next weekend?
Dude, the lamest thing about bottle service to me is the girls dancing in front of you.
Dude, for real. Just like, give me the bottle.
It's so awkward, yo. Yeah. Like, what are you supposed to do in that time period? Like, you know, just, like, everybody just takes out their phone. Like, but like, what if you're not have your phone? Like, you're just like,
raise the roof.
Oh, you got bottle service before, right? So like, what?
I just do it because it's like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, I definitely waste some money. I'd rather just go to the bar and like be buying drinks and stuff. It's just like for like fucking like, honestly, I don't think you're paying for the bottle. You're paying for the space. Like, especially when you're like a club and stuff, you want to be like in this like. You want to be in this area. You want to be in like this couch. You want to be able to like comfortable, because like otherwise you're just standing uncomfortably like in like an overcrowded like fucking club, and there's like, it's just awkward. So it kind of like breaks that like awkwardness a little bit and allows you to have like a little like circle within that club. That's my opinion. If I'm gonna get bottle service, I'm definitely like I hate bottle service too.
I think we all have very different vibes when we go out. Because I would never, ever put my car down for getting bottle service. I would like, it just like the idea never pops in my head.
Like, how it depends on how many bodies you have. If you have enough to where like a bottle is feasible and you can split it, a bottle. Yeah. And
some places you have to. Like, we went out in New York, and like, bro, like when we were like, I forget where. Yeah, me, Lucky, we went to like that rooftop spot. And like there, you got like 5-6 guys. You're not getting in anywhere unless you're getting a bottle or like buying like unlimited bar. I just remember KV that night, yo.
That was Jussie that kicked the table.
No, it was you. No. Yeah, this was the after spot.
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
But like, you know what I mean? Like in certain cities, like it's like when you're like moving with like a whole bunch of guys, that kind of stuff is like, you have to do it. Or you're not going to enjoy yourself. You're not going to be able to get in anywhere, and you're just going to be like hopping around. And then like certain places, like you can go to like a dive bar and you're chilling, but it's also like what kind of vibe you're going for and stuff.
Word. So, do you guys have like a bucket list of like shit you want to get in your life? You know, like nice car, nice house.
For me, I don't even give a fuck about a car. I think nice house is definitely like what I would want the most. Car, I'm fine with what, like a $60K car. Like,
you drive a Camaro.
My Camaro, you realize my Camaro was $20K, and I've had it for what, 10 years almost now. It's 9 years, and it has less than 50,000 miles. So.
Do you think your car in yourself like makes you come off as materialistic?
I don't know. So the thing about my car, right? My dad, I don't know. I might have told this story in this podcast. I had an Infinity, like I had an Infinity.
Yeah, you told it in the live episode, I think.
Oh yeah, I had an Infinity pass down or whatever, and I didn't want a fucking car, like a Camaro, like a showy off car. But my dad was. I think my dad's way more into cars than I am. Like he has a fucking Jeep. He has a motorcycle now that he just bought, and he like I think. Back then, like when I traded my car, he was like, yo, get this car. And I was like, okay, fuck it. Just listen to him.
That's a good point too. Like, yo, are your parents, would you say your guys' parents are materialistic or not really? Cause I feel like that also shapes us. Cause my parents aren't materialistic like at all. Like, and I feel like that's definitely like trickled down to me too.
I don't think my parents are materialistic. My dad might be a little bit, but I think for him, it's not being materialistic. It's like, he's going to do what he wants in his life. He wants, if he has the money to buy this and it gives him a little bit of happiness, he'll do it. Right. He bought a motorcycle. He doesn't even have a license yet. You know, this man, I literally watch him like every month, just turn it on for like 5 minutes to warm it and turn it off. Like he's just waiting to get his license soon and be able to drive it. But like, he has a fucking, I don't know if I showed you this. He has a Humvee truck, like one of those fucking army trucks. It's in our driveway right now. Like
that's fire, yo.
He bought that and he wants to like build it up and like fix it. I'll show you guys a picture of that shit. But I don't think he's materialistic though in any sense. He just wants what he can afford, and wants what makes him happy.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of brown people are materialistic, yo. Like they always like be like Louis Vuitton bags, like there's even like aunties and shit, yo. They be like trying to like just always one up each other.
I've never seen those. I think we had a conversation before. I've never seen those. Like to me, it's just like my parents, all they care about is just having one nice house and one nice car. And that's, I feel like, is what's passed down on me. It's like have one nice car and one nice house, and that's enough. Like you don't need to showboat, do over the top. But that's like, I don't know if that's considered materialistic. That's just like, I don't know, I guess a check mark, I guess almost. I don't even know. But other than that, they don't spend money on shit. These motherfuckers just save. So like, I don't think they're materialistic, but at the same time, they just want the top quality of like the main things, which is like a house and a car. I don't know. Would you consider that materialistic?
No, I think that's just, it's like normal, you know, like they're smart and they're financially like, you know, they know what they need and they stay within their limits. Like, and everything else, you know, they go to safety net. So
yeah, that's just how
it should be, honestly. Like I feel like my dad, he's pretty unmaterialistic, like to like an extreme. Like he's been wearing the same fucking shoes for like a decade, basically.
Same, bro.
And like he wears them till like he slips, you know, till he slips and he injures himself. Like that's the kind of shit he does. My brother does that same thing too. I never give my brother shoes or anything because he fucks them up. But my mom, my aunts, my mom's side of the family, and a lot of like the brown aunties in our group, bro, they love gold. I don't know if this is like a thing in Punjabi households, but there's like a gold craze for like Indian women, and it is like unreal, and it causes so much fucking chaos.
Dude, I was opposed to gold for the longest time because I thought it just looked goofy. And then I remember my old chain that I'm wearing now. That was like, my mom got it for me when I was in India and had a B on it. I was like, yo, that's a little sus. So I took the B off and just put the chain on. And honestly, I don't know if it's our skin complexion, but gold just looks good on us. Like, it's just like our skin tone or something. But like, when I look in the mirror, it's not like, it doesn't come off corny. It's just like, I feel it's just like feels right. And I don't know if that's genetic. Yeah, facts. So I don't know if that shit's like in our genes and our genetic, like, because we're kings deep down, right? But I don't know. That shit just feels right. I wouldn't like do over the top, but I think it's like the only thing I would ever wear, only because it has like sentimental value to it, not for like any flexing purposes. It's just like very tiny, anyways.
Do you guys think our parents, or most of our parents, are like that because they grew up like in a more of a community type of environment where like you kind of depend on other people, and like you kind of have to like learn how to be like selfless, whereas like now it's like people are more selfish and more independent?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of factors at play though. I mean, for them, it's like the survival of the fittest. They're just trying to survive. We so much, no matter what happens, like we know we have somebody, like if all goes to hell and like you fail, your parents are going to have your back. Us. And that's a privilege that we have as a first generation in America. For them, it's just surviving. So you don't have even time to think about that kind of stuff because you're just trying to survive. For us, we have more free time now to like think about getting this, getting that, and like picking and choosing things.
Wait, I heard the question differently. Do you mean that like when our parents grew up, they had more of a community around them, that's why they became, you know, either that's how they shaped like their selfishness, selflessness. And now like, do we do the same because of that?
I feel like when they grew up, right, you're depending, like they live in a village, whatever, they're depending on multiple people, right, to get milk from this guy, to get food from this guy, to like, you know, like that's just how they grew up. And then they learn to like care for others more than like people do now. I feel like people now strive to be more independent, whereas I feel like people back then were fine being in a community and working together. Whereas now the mindset is, oh, you got to be independent. You got to be financially independent. You got to be independent in this terms or whatever. You got to be independent in your career and stuff like that. Whereas back then, like, yo, it's all about community, right? If you farm this product, you trade it with this person. And, you know, that's just how it worked back then. And I feel like people learned how to be like selfless.
I mean, back in the day, I think it was just more like socialism type shit, and now it's like capitalism. Like you come to America for that other side of things. Like in communities back then, I feel like it's just because money wasn't attached to it. If like nowadays, I think if you live in this world, it's like time is money type shit for most people. I feel like if you're super rich, that's why motherfuckers go to philanthropy, because you don't have to worry about money, because at the end of the day, helping people feels good, but at the same time, you're always just so worried about yourself taken care of first. So it kind of stops you not to like be as selfless as you should be. Because I feel like, at least that's how I think about it. Like at the end of the day, I do enjoy enjoy helping people. But sometimes it's like, I'd rather just like go do something productive that might make me more financially stable down the road or some shit like that.
Lucky, are you more selfish now than you would like to be, or like, are you fine with?
I'm in like a morally gray zone. Like I don't like, I can't like be in absolutes, because sometimes you have to be selfish and sometimes you have to be selfless. And like those people that say like, like I put myself second all the time, like I'm a giver or all that shit. That is like, to me, like sometimes cap, and if it's not cap, you just like making it very difficult for you to like be like stable in life. I don't know. Like, I just think like cost of living is just going to go higher and higher, and everything is just attached with money. So being selfless right now in this like economy is not something that's ideal.
Wait, so do you think that all these like big donors and, multimillionaires and shit that donate to charities and all that shit, do you think they're doing it purely out of like, all the time out of like the goodness of their heart, or is it because of the tax break? Do you think it's like
both? It's probably both, dude. Like, I don't think no one's like bad. I don't think like you like, there's some motherfuckers that are like, what is it, like not sociopath, but like sociopath. Like there are certain people that are sociopath, like that are super successful, but at the end of the day, like I think no one wants to be evil. Like everyone wants to be like loved and enjoyed. Like when people think of you, you don't want them to have a negative like thought of you. So I mean, one, like it's like a win-win for them. You get tax avoidance, and on top of that, it does probably feel good that you're giving back, that you have like this surplus of wealth, and like you are like affecting lives. Like I remember when I sent money back into like farmers in India like 2 years ago, or like last year, and like they used all my money in dowry, and I like made an impact on 5 women, and that shit was like very profound. And over a year, like I can only make an impact on myself. So at least that's how I think about it. If you have the means, like you will, like most people will want to help other people, but it's just like cost basis, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, not to like pick you apart or anything, but like I'm just like curious, like there's this like quote, like there's no such thing as like a selfless act. So do you think that like, part of, donating all this stuff and helping people out, part of that, isn't that being like slightly selfish because you want to feel good?
Yeah, so, like, it internally fuels your ego, but it's in a good way. Like, you're doing good. Like, fuck it. Like, I mean,
we all yin and yang to everything. Like,
yeah, we're all chasing a high at the end of the day, and that provides a high too in its own way, in its own sense. So that is kind of like being selfish for sure. But bro,
I disagree though. I feel like okay, actually, I kind of agree to the fact that like most people probably do it for both, right? To feel good and for the tax deduction or whatever. Like they actually care and they want the tax deduction. But there's people out there like you guys remember the farmer, bro, Martin Shkreli or whatever his name is, the guy that fucking raises prices and he's still like, he was still a dick about it. Yeah.
But I think his story I thought was like misinterpreted, because he was just fucking over the insurance companies. He wasn't fucking over any of the local people that were actually getting the thing, because the money was coming from the insurance people, but they made it that it's coming from the people's, and he's not giving them the treatment.
I mean, he's in jail, so obviously what he was doing was
okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. So maybe I take whatever I said back.
I'm not sure. I just remember everyone fucking roasting him way back, and I don't really know any context behind.
Dude, I just remember him on Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne was like cooking his ass, bro. He was just like, I forget what he was saying, but he was just like cooking this man like to his face back when Charlemagne was a savage.
Yeah, but okay, so let me ask you guys this question, right? I feel like everyone's selfish and selfless depending on the situation, but I feel like personally I'm more selfless around people I care about. I don't know if you guys are the same way. Like sometimes like I put other people's priorities that I care about ahead of mine. depending on the situation. Like for me, like my dad, right? He has bad health. So if he needs help or whatever, I'll usually go out of my way to help him.
That's pretty healthy. I think that's a good thing. I don't think you're.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like, not all the time I can help him, and I tell him, and then he gets mad and stuff. So it's like a two-way street, right? Like when I can help him, I'll help him, but when I can't, it's like this more like moral dilemma within me where it's like, fuck, like I can't help him, and he's like getting mad and shit. So it's like makes me feel shitty on the inside. So it's like I don't know how to balance that personally, but.
I don't think anyone knows how to balance that, dude. You just got to keep it pushing. Like, at least that's what I tell myself, because I face the same dilemma and I like always think about it over and over again in my head too. But then at the end of the day, like you're only going to get this life once. Do as best as you can. Just, I know there's no room off, but just always tell yourself there's room for improvement and just like keep it pushing. At least that's what I try to tell myself. And obviously sometimes it goes far left where like, yo, fuck, I'm not doing enough. Far right where I'm like satiated with what I do, but it's just going to be a constant battle. I don't think there's ever going to be peace with that shit.
Yeah, true. That's a good way to think about it. I just, in the moment, it just always it fucking sucks.
No, trust me, bro. Like I need, like my dad has like a fucking, some vein shit is going on last weekend. And like, I wanted to go home and then I didn't. And I just ended up going to Puerto Rico and I felt like they didn't like, yeah, no, cause I've already bought everything. I'm like, yo, like, I don't need to do this, but like, I don't know. It's like those types of things is what, I mean, they kind of ground you though, you know, they don't let you fly off into like a distant thing. Those things pull you back into reality. Like you do have,
you feel guilty.
Yeah. And you need that. I think you need that to ground it. I don't know. I think it's just like with everything, yin and yang, you need that shit to ground you. Cause if you don't feel guilt, you're just going to be a sociopath. And if you do feel guilt, you'll have some empathy or sympathy. And then you realize, yo, my actions fucking affect other people too. And I don't know, that's just being a good person, I guess. I don't know.
All right, guys, thanks for listening to the Brown Boy Chronicles podcast. We are available on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and YouTube. Feel free to follow us on Instagram at the Brown Boy Chronicles and our Twitter at the bbcpod. If you enjoy our content, we would appreciate it if you guys could take the time to review, like, and subscribe. If you have any other questions or business inquiries, please email us at brownboychronicles1@gmail.com. Thank you.